Welcome back to my channel, people. Today I will be making some vegetarian dishes. One will be spinach, which is Pak Choi bhaji, and one will be Baigan Choka, which is eggplant. So I'm in the garden. Follow me so I can follow me while I'm in the garden picking some vegetables. Okay, whilst I'm here, there is some okra on the tree. So I'll pick the okra one time. You can see I have some nice okra here. See my okra? Lovely, nice okras. Okay, I've got the eggplants, the balange, so we're moving to get some tomato from the tree. All the produce will actually be from the garden. So I will be picking tomato from the tree. So you can see that I'm picking all fresh product. Here you go, nice tomato. Another one here. So I have some that I already picked a couple days ago, which is actually ripe properly. But I just want you guys to see that, it's fresh from the garden. Let me also get some of the Pak Choi that I have in the garden here. So once I finish picking the Pak Choi, I will be heading inside and give it a wash, and then from there we're going to continue with the recipe. So I'm back in the kitchen washing out my vegetable. First I'm washing out the eggplant, and then I'll do the few tomatoes that I picked. I'll wash those out. And then I'll go to the spinach. I'll wash the spinach out properly. Make sure you wash it and there's no sun onto it. Make sure it's washed properly. So when I finish washing this, I will be cutting it up, and then we're going to start the process of cooking. So I start cutting up my spinach. I cut it real thin. Make sure I cut it very thin all the way through. Okay, and I use every part of the spinach. The white part even to the green leaves. I use into the spinach. So I even do that. All these I cut up. I cut the green leaf, everything. So you can see I cut it all the way through. That's the way how I do the spinach. I cut it up. Okay. And these are the tomato that I have picked from a couple days now. You can see. And this is what I'm going to use today to make the vegetable. So now I'm back. I'm going to start the process of the Baigan Choka. First I slit the baigan so that I can place the garlic into it, and it do help the process of cooking, and the garlic give a nice taste into the Baigan Choka. So I normally put like 2 cloves of garlic into every Baigan. You can, if you need more or you want to add less or more, you can do that. It all depends on how much you want, because I do like a lot of garlic. So you can see I put the garlic into the Baigan. I push it into the slit. So it's like big cloves of garlic I put into it. Okay, after I finish that, I will place it on top of the bacon pan, and then I'll do the same thing with the tomato. I normally like give the tomato a little slit around, so it helps to cook fast and it get very moist. So I finish here, I place it on the pan, the bacon pan. Then what I do, I use the broiler to up to 450 degrees. So I use the broiler on the stove and I set it up to 550. Then when I set it up to 550, I place everything into the broiler. So as I finish here slitting the tomato, and I already finished do the eggplant with the garlic into it, I'll be putting it into the broiler, which I've already set to 550 degrees. I know some people might set it lower or some might set, but do remember that I didn't put no seasoning in this. It's just the garlic I put into the eggplant, so that the garlic can be cooked into the eggplant and it will give it a great flavor. So let me put this inside here. Okay, so it's optional. Some people use the stove top to do it. Some people use the oven to bake it, but I use the broiler because I believe that that is where it do the best. So while the tomato and the eggplant is roasting, you can join me outside in cooking the Pak Choi. Let's go outside. Okay, now I'm outside doing the Pak Choi, and the ingredients I will put into the Pak Choi is a medium onion that I chop. I have like 8 cloves of garlic that I chop. I have like 6 wiri pepper that I chop, and I have some celery that I chopped up. So I put like about 3 tablespoons of oil, and I want the onion to caramelize a little. Then I add my garlic to it, so the garlic can also caramelize. It takes like about 2 minutes to caramelize. You can see it start to get brown, caramelized color. Then I add my pepper and celery to it. I'll let this fry it up for a little. You have to have the heat on like medium, not a lot of heat, just medium heat. Then I will add the Pak Choi into the pot. Okay, I'm gonna give it a mix it up properly. Okay, and then I will add a little salt onto it. So I add a little salt onto it to give it a taste. So it all depends on how much salt you use. I don't use too much salt. I just use a little salt. I don't use too much. So I add that onto it to make sure it have a nice taste. So in the meanwhile, this has been cooking here. I'll go back inside and check on the eggplant to see how it looks. So I will leave this out here to saute down a little. I leave it on a low heat so it will take its time and cook them properly. So while the Pak Choi is cooking outside, I'm checking on the eggplant to see how it actually looks in here. So I'm gonna give it a flip over so it can cook on the other side properly. Okay, so now I'll put it back into the broiler for another 5 minutes. Okay, I'll leave it there for 5 minutes and I will look at the Pak Choi outside to make sure it's cooking down. So it looked like it have like 5 minutes more to finish. So whilst it is finishing up here, I'll check in the garden to see what I really have, if I have anything to pick. So I'll check it out. Oh wow, I have a huge Karela which is bitter melon. So I don't want this one to get ripe on me, so I'll pick this one out. And let me also check in the back of this Karela to see if we have any. Wow, we have a few here which we're gonna pick in a couple of days. You can see, look, we have a few of them that we're gonna pick in a couple of days, and we're gonna make calounji with it, which is stuffed bitter melon. So I have another one at the bottom here which will be ready to pick like in a day or two. So when I pick these bitter melon, which is Karela, we're gonna do stuffed bitter melon, which is calounji. So there's another one here also. So we have a few of them here, which is great. Okay, so let me go back and okay, and then at the bottom here I have a lot of scythe. If you want to see here, I have a lot of scythe that I also plant scythe that I use in cooking. Instead of shallot, sometimes I use a scythe. So let me go back and check on my spinach. Okay, so now I finished picking the Karela, so I'll check on the spinach to make sure that it's finished. So let me check on the spinach. Look as if it's about to finish here. Oh yeah, this is perfectly done. So that's it. So I'll turn this off. This is finished, so I'll turn this off, take it inside, and then we're gonna start to make the Baigan Choka. Okay, so this is finished now. I'm gonna rest it on the other side of the counter, and then I'll check on my eggplant, and tomato. Okay, this is perfect. So let it cool down for like about 2-3 minutes, and then I will start the process. So we just got lucky because I was outside doing the spinach, and now I'm in here because you can hear the rain is falling outside. So I'm going to finish up with the eggplant, the Baigan Choka. So first I slit it through the middle, and then I use a spoon to take it out from the inside. Okay, it's a kind of a little hot, but I'm trying to get it done. I want to make sure that I don't have none of the burn side into it, the black on the outside. So I gotta make sure that I scrape it real nice and make sure there's none of the burn particles inside of it. So this is what it looks like when you finish scraping it. It's just the skin that's left. I got onto the second one here. Scooping out the second one. Make sure I got it all out. Got all of the inside out from the eggplant. I continue saying eggplant and melange because I don't want people to get mixed up. So it's still a little hot, but I want to get it done fast. I think I'm having enough from this 3 little one because they are not too big, it's just small eggplant. Oops. I want to make sure I collect all the garlics that I put inside. Okay. Now I'll do the tomato. So I do the tomato, like take the burnt skin out of from the tomato. So when it's a little hot, I use a little fork to hold it up like this and get everything out of it. I think I should put an extra tomato, but I think this is gonna actually work what we have here. So you actually want to get the skin out of the tomato. You don't want the skin into the tomato, and especially the bun part. So this is what it looks like when you finish putting in, peel the tomato, take out the skin from the tomato and the skin from the eggplant. I normally do a little chopped up like this, so it's loose. Okay, then I add my thinly sliced onion, very thinly sliced onion. I have 3. And I have this shallot that I picked from the backyard. I will be putting that in it in a minute. Let me stir this one up a little first. In the meanwhile, I will add a little olive oil onto it. Let me grab a little olive oil. So you just want to put like a little teeny bit, like a tablespoon olive oil into it. And then I also gonna add the little salt into it, so you're gonna have a perfect taste. It all depends on how much salt you like. You add your salt into it and then you mix it up. Okay, that's already finished mixing. And I sometimes put the shallot on top, or if you want, you can also mix this into it. So it get a nice color with the tomato, little reddish color from the tomato, the onion, and you also have the green shallot into it. And now that's what it look like when I finish. That's a perfect eggplant choka, Baigan Choka. That's what it look like. So thank you for cooking with me today. This is the two dish that I have, which is the Pak Choi bhaji, and I have the eggplant, that's a Baigan Choka. That's for today, vegetarian dish. And you can, make any comment that, get any feedback on this so that I can get better on what I'm doing. And I will also post more cooking videos into my channel, and you can please subscribe onto my channel. Thank you very much.